Hello, CZ faithful friends and followers, and welcome to a new edition of your Kingsport Chamber Zone, the award-winning show that's all about your Kingsport Chamber in this great city of Kingsport. I am Bob Figgins with your Kingsport Chamber, and way over there is my good friend and co-host, Laura Woods with Eastman. And we brushed off the glitter, cleaned up the confetti from our big celebration of our 300th episode. Laura, we're ready to our new track for our new next 100 CZs. And as we start episode 301, what a better place to begin.
In case you haven't figured it out, we're coming from the future site of Kingsport's Centennial Park. The park will mark the centerpiece of the legacy that we will be celebrating next year as Kingsport turns 100. Can you imagine?
100.
100. I mean, it's not 300 episodes by any stretch of the imagination, but that's still a milestone.
True, yes.
It's still a milestone.
Still should be celebrated.
The park's just going to be an amazing feature right here in downtown Kingsport with so many wonderful pieces of it that commemorate not only our past, but also mark our present and will be something for the people in the future to enjoy. We cannot wait to tell you about it and how magnificent it's going to be.
And Centennial Park is just one piece of Kingsport's celebration next year as it celebrates its 100th birthday. We'll have the two individuals who are in charge of the whole remarkable year. Several events planned, several celebrations. They'll be joining us to tell us what we can expect in 2017 to celebrate Kingsport's 100th.
And one of the reasons that Kingsport does get to celebrate turning 100 in such a fantastic way is because it has the support of an amazing corporate community. And a big part of that support comes from Eastman, which of course is a Fortune 500 company, a global company headquartered right here in Kingsport. Eastman's got a lot of really cool things going on, and we will have a couple of fantastic women from Eastman on our show to tell us just about what's happening at that great company.
A great CZ ahead, but before we get to all those wonderful guests, let's check out some upcoming events with your Kingsport Chamber. Well, if you thought the plans and the celebration for your Kingsport Chamber Zone's 300th episode were huge, then you've not seen anything like, absolutely, pales in comparison to what this city is planning to celebrate its 100th birthday next year. Here now with all the exciting plans are the two people responsible for this exciting year, the co-chairs of the Kingsport Centennial Celebration, CG and Jeff McCord. CG is also my boss this year, so I have to be on my best behavior, as she is the current chair of your Kingsport Chamber. She's also the Global Public and Community Affairs Director for Eastman. And Jeff is the Vice President for Economic and Workforce Development for Northeast State Community College. And if I listed all their other accolades and everything else they were involved in, it would take the entire show.
We wouldn't get to do an interview.
We wouldn't get to do an interview. Jeff, CG, thanks for joining us today. Yeah. Plans are coming along. We're going to talk about that in just a moment. It's very exciting. The momentum's building. But Jeff, first of all, give us a little behind-the-scenes look at the planning process and the committee and everything that's going into making this celebration happen.
We haven't started yet.
Okay. So this is your first hint, right? Okay. Yes. Okay. Okay.
Actually, we've been working on this for over a year now. There's a group of about 30 people, maybe a little more than that, who are the commission, and within that group, there are 6 or so subcommittees or committees that are working as well, and each of those committees have additional people. So they're well over 100 people have been working on this celebration for over a year now.
The typical Kingsport, isn't it?
It's typical Kingsport.
Right.
Love it. Well, and also in typical Kingsport fashion, I guess you guys already have some events that are scheduled for the Centennial celebration, right?
Right. So the beauty of it is we want everyone to participate. So we have 3 significant events that are being planned right now. The first is New Year's Eve, and start off with a New Year's celebration as we go into our 100th year. Then March the 2nd, which is our Proclamation Day, we'll have a great big birthday celebration, and we're looking at the farmers market downtown area for that. And then 4th of July, we'll celebrate being a part of this country and being here for 100 years together, and tie in with DKA and the Symphony.
That's fantastic.
Oh, that's wonderful.
That sounds like so much fun. That's great. And so you all mentioned you've got over 100 volunteers so far involved, but there are opportunities for other people in the community to get involved if they haven't already been tapped. So can we talk just a little bit about that?
Sure, absolutely. One of the things we can do, if you go to the website, kingsport100.org, you can actually register your particular event to be a part of the celebration, and there's a process to do that. So if you have an event coming up, please do that, and we'll include that in the calendar events and promote that event as well. The other thing is we are currently in the fundraising phase for Centennial Park. I know you'll talk about that a little bit later. And so on the website, there's a way you can donate or contact somebody to find out more about those donations. And finally, really the last thing is just get excited. We're about to celebrate 100 years. It's a wonderful thing to do. We can take a breath and celebrate who we are in our 100th birthday.
There's a lot of time, a lot of emphasis, a lot of people involved in this whole process. Why is it important that so much emphasis is being placed on our city's 100th, and what does it mean to both of you to chair this once-in-a-lifetime effort and celebration?
Well, first, we are just incredibly humbled by the opportunity to do this, and that's one of the things that this community is known for, is opportunity. There's so many hands that go into so many of the good things that have happened over the years, and we're seeing that as a part of this commission. We look forward to that as we celebrate our 100 years. But we think about all the people that came before us that have built the infrastructure and the opportunities for us today. We raised our children here. We are so very grateful for that, and we want to leave things better than we found them, or at least as good. So we're looking towards the future for that.
That's awesome.
And I would say I'm not from around here. I'm originally from someplace else. And honestly, I think that might give me a better perspective on how absolutely special this place is. My dad recently said we moved from somewhere else with the children, so not easy on my family, but my dad recently said, watching how our children are and watching how CG and I have become, that you made the right decision. And it's time to celebrate that. This is a special place.
Well, and the legacy from the celebration will be Centennial Park, where, the site where we are standing right now. And again, we get to go into some of the details there, but why is that such an important part of this celebration?
Well, one of the things that the commission wanted to do was to leave something for future generations. So not only is the design beautiful in terms of celebrating our history, but it provides a gathering spot. And we want everyone that's ever lived here, touched this place, to come in 2017 and be a part of this and come back home or come to visit, and we can gather in the park, tell stories, play music, play cornhole, but it's a great gathering spot.
It's not only celebrating our past, but it's also celebrating our present and looking forward to the future, all that you're planning.
That's exactly right. Very early on in the process, the comment was made, we don't need to build a monument to ourselves. We need to honor who's going to come after us, just like we were honored by those who came before us. And that really is the Kingsport spirit. And the park is a representation of that.
So, CG and Jeff, if people want more information about the celebration, they want to participate, whatever the case might be, where do they get that?
So it's easy. Go to kingsport100.org. You can contact any of the commission members. They're out there. We're also capturing some videos, so if you want to participate in either an event or be interviewed, share a story, we encourage that. So please just plug in.
We can certainly do that. So CG and Jeff McCord, thank you all, number one, for heading this up. We really appreciate it. It's in great hands, and thank you for sharing all this wonderful information with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you both. And when we come back on your CZ, we'll tell you what this place behind us will look like next year when it becomes Kingsport Centennial Park.
And welcome back to this edition of your Kingsport Chamber Zone, on location from the future Centennial Park here in Kingsport.
And as you just heard, the future Centennial Park is the legacy project for Kingsport Centennial Celebration, and it promises to be quite the sight and quite the attraction. Here now to tell us all about it, what it will look like, and how you can help make it a reality are Jim Harlan and Dr. Brenda White. Jim is the president of the Kingsport Community Foundation, and Brenda is the chair of Kingsport Centennial Legacy Project. She's also a speaker, trainer, and consultant with The Right Approach. Brenda also helped raise me, so if you know this is why I am today, she is the one to blame. So
that's really not. That's really not.
Yes,
very
nice.
I
could not be more proud of you.
Well, thank you. You're the only one the first time that's ever been said on this show. So
let's go with
yes. Thank you both for joining us to talk about this exciting project. And before we get into the details, Brenda, give us an idea of the planning of this and how the idea for this park all came about and why a park was chosen to serve as a legacy project.
So we came up with a team of 17 people that included some of our city staff, but mostly volunteers like Jim and myself. And along with my vice chair, former Mayor Jeanette Blazier, the first thing we did was to establish a mission statement. And the mission statement said that we were going to research and develop a financially feasible and sustainable destination Centennial project.
I wish she was excited about
I know it, really.
One of these days I'm going to be. And so it's really important to us to provide something that could be financially sustained, but that also everyone would get excited about raising money to support. And Jim is going to talk to you about that. But equally important is that destination piece. We have a lot of wonderful places here in Kingsport for people to come, like the Carousel, Meadowview. Of course, we could go on and on about that. But when we decided destination, not only for people who live outside the area, but for people who live right here to come and enjoy and be a part of. And so it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to support this park, but the park will be around for many lifetimes. And that was another part of our mission.
Well, and so when you talk about destinations, you chose this spot here in downtown Kingsport. So what thinking went into that?
So it became readily apparent to us that downtown and all the revitalization efforts that are going on, we received so much support for having it downtown. We wanted to be a spot that was geographically accessible to people, and we also wanted it to be a place for all generations, a place for all young people as well as senior citizens like myself. And so a park, and because of Healthy Kingsport and all the other healthy movements that we're into, we thought a park would be a wonderful place to come. And of course the centerpiece of our design is this beautiful interactive fountain where the young and the young at heart can come and sit and maybe enjoy playing in the water. And so that's the central piece of the fountain. So downtown became a logical choice, and then we started looking around downtown and came up with this spot right here on Main Street.
Well, and Jim, as Brenda talked about the fountain, the renderings, I mean, this is just going to be amazing. I don't think it's what most people consider when they hear that we're doing a park to memorialize our 100th anniversary. So talk to us about what's going to be in this park.
Well, this is a great opportunity. I mean, how many times do you get to celebrate a 100th birthday? I probably won't be around for the second 100th birthday of Kingsport. So a lot has gone into the planning of this park. As Brenda said, it needed to be a destination, something that would draw folks from the region and from Kingsport. And so around that fountain, play fountain in the middle, there is a history walk, which talks about the major milestones and events in Kingsport's history over the last 100 years. There's 44 Centennial bands that span the decades that talk about that. So it's a great opportunity to come and learn about the history of Kingsport. And with all the trains in the background this morning, right here on the corner of Cherokee and Main Street, there's going to be an enhanced train platform, which will allow for a lot of big venues that it can be used for. There's also a very versatile stage associated with the park, a lot of green space, some public sculpture. So we'll have a sculpture which highlights the Santa train, so the kids, the grandkids can get up in the back of the train car and have their picture with Santa. And the whole focus of that is the spirit of generosity. That's what makes Kingsport Kingsport, whether it's helping people or celebrating their 100th anniversary.
That's awesome. Well, it's going to be an amazing park. What's the timeline? Excuse me, the timeline for completion.
So we're right now in the bidding phase, getting ready to start that. That will continue from now through September. The park will start construction immediately following that bid phase, and we look for it to be complete in late summer, early fall of 2017, so that we can celebrate it as a part of the Centennial.
And then can you explain how the costs are going to work as far as how the fundraising will take place for the Centennial Park, and then how people can participate in that, because you've made it very easy for anybody to participate.
Sure. So we are partnering with the city. The city will put up half the money. We will raise the balance of the half from the Kingsport community. That's about 1.2 million.
Okay.
We're about halfway home.
Oh, wow.
Great.
That's fantastic.
So we've had a lot of good support from businesses, industry, individuals, clubs. It's been a smorgasbord of folks who have wanted to support this park. So what I would say is, for folks that are listening to this, there's a couple of ways that they can support the park. First of all, they can go to kingsport100.org. And there's a big red button there that says Donate Now. And they can make a secure donation online. All monies going to this park, 100% of the monies go to the park. There's no administrative fee, and all of it is tax deductible. So they can make that taxable donation online. If they would prefer to write a check, they can make it out to the Kingsport Community Foundation, P.O. Box 2017, Kingsport, Tennessee 37662.
Okay.
And Brenda, you mentioned that this park is not only honoring Kingsport's past, but it's really focusing on our future to celebrate the generations yet to come. What will this place mean to Kingsport and the people yet to come 10, 20, 30 years from now?
Well, I think that the park will mean something different to everybody. For those of us who live here, work here, play here, as we're walking that circle, telling that story, we will all remember when we were either born here, or we moved here, or came to work here. And so I think there are going to be so many stories, and we want to capture those stories. I think it's going to mean something really to everybody. And so just to emphasize, the park is to celebrate our 100 years, but it is also about the present and to come to Kingsport, and it is a wonderful place to live. But I also want to emphasize it's a park for everybody, and we want to make it available to everybody. And one of the greatest ways you can make this a personal park is to contribute to the fundraising and development. And just let me say, there's no donation. I know it sounds trite, but it's absolutely true. No donation is too small. Every single dollar is appreciated and is needed to make this dream of a park become all of our reality.
Well, Jim, now that Brenda has drummed up all of this support and enthusiasm,
Isn't she great?
She's fantastic. No wonder that she's a part of this. Remind us how people can donate and be a part of this wonderful project.
Again, just go to kingsport100.org. There's a Donate Now button. You can also send a check if you'd prefer to do that to the Kingsport Community Foundation, P.O. Box 2017, Kingsport, Tennessee 37662. If you'd like more information about the park, I would encourage you to go either to City Hall or to the Chamber Building. There are brochures there that explain the details of the park and some sponsorship opportunities if folks would like to do that. So I would encourage them to do that.
Easy enough. Well, Jim Harlan, Dr. Brenda White-Wright, thank you all so much for being here and sharing this wonderful part of the Centennial celebration. We're really looking forward to it.
Thank you for giving us the opportunity. We look forward to coming back when we can look over there
in a
and
year from
see
now,
that
yes,
mountain.
we do. And we will be back in a year from now. Absolutely. Thank you both.
Thank you.
And we'll have an update on Eastman when we come back with more of your CZ. And welcome back to your Kingsport Chamber Zone, on location from the future home of Kingsport Centennial Park here in downtown Kingsport.
We have had a blast on this show talking about all of the great things that we're going to be celebrating as Kingsport gets ready to mark its 100th anniversary. And it should be noted that one of the reasons that Kingsport's been able to have 100 years here is because of its amazing corporate support that it has right here in this area. And in no small part, we can thank Eastman Chemical Company for doing that. Eastman, of course, is a global award-winning company where its products are used worldwide every single day. No doubt you probably use an Eastman product at least one part during your day as you go through your life. And here now to tell us more about all the cool things that are happening at Eastman, because you know there are, because it's an innovative company like that, are Pincha Murphy and Amy Davis. Pincha is a public affairs representative with Eastman, and Amy is the director of marketing communications. And we are so glad to have both of you all here. First time on the show, right?
Yes, welcome.
Thank you.
Well, yeah, and again, we've got a lot of exciting things happening at Eastman. So Amy, let's start with you. What's new?
Well, it is definitely an exciting time at Eastman Chemical. We have acquired several companies over the last several years, and with that has brought a lot of talent and new ideas to our employee base around the world. And with that also came new technologies, platform technologies and product technologies that were new to our company. For example, we manufacture window films, which you can even buy at Lowe's or Home Depot to put in your home or even in your car to help with energy management. We now sell and manufacture high-performance interlayers that allow different types of technology, whether it's an architectural glazing, putting up against the force of a hurricane, or allowing technology to be seen in your vehicle through head-up display on the dash. All of those innovations are now part of our portfolio. And that really shows to how we are investing innovation like never before. And I can't talk about them, of course, but we've got several things in the pipeline that as we approach our centennial anniversary in 2020, we are well poised to continue our growth.
Will you break those on the Kingsport Chamber Zone when it's
Absolutely, you will be our first call.
Because we have a worldwide audience now, right? So
we're on the internet.
That's right, true.
I don't know what else you could ask.
That's right. Well, something that is new is your very impressive new global headquarters, your corporate business center. It's now open for business. People are in there working. So tell us about this very beautiful building.
Oh, absolutely. It is the centerpiece of our Project Inspire investment here in Kingsport. And the center was really built around the idea of collaboration. More than 1,000 employees are able to work and collaborate in the new building. And what makes the building unique are all of the open spaces, the technology. It's able to allow us to connect to our colleagues all around the world with literally a click of a button in a conference room. And we're also surrounded by our product innovations, whether it's the molecules and the carpeting or the coalescence in the walls to the glass and glazing. We are really surrounded by Eastman innovations, and it makes it for a great place to not only collaborate together, but with our customers. We have a state-of-the-art customer insight gallery that was designed to collaborate with customers and to develop new ways to partner and innovate together, including a gallery of touchscreen displays that allow people to see all of the wondrous things that Eastman innovations are allowing around the world.
It's awesome. I'll have to interject here. One of the cool things that I thought about the building when I got a tour of it right before it opened was that the engineer had told us that the filaments that were used in the lights, we'd partnered up with one of our customers that was providing the lights, which he used one of our technologies that allowed us to reduce the number of lights in the building by half.
It's amazing.
I mean, that's it's just cool stuff.
Oh, it's amazing.
just really cool.
Truly
stuff.
the results of insight, right?
Exactly.
That Eastman's known for.
Living up to it, absolutely.
That's right.
Well, and Pincha, one of the other things that Eastman thinks is very important and trumpets a lot is sustainability. You know, as a corporate citizen, we think it's really important that we are operating in an environment where we recognize sustainability and we support sustainability. So can you talk a little bit about that?
So our corporate social responsibility team has established core principles. We like to call them our 4 E's, and it's around education, economic development, environmental stewardship, and empowerment. And these are all underscored by ethics and engagement. So we have these principles to really allow us to focus on the right projects and initiatives, while we're also partnering with regional and global partners to really help with our CR efforts, as well as achieve mutual goals. And if I could give you some examples of what we're doing kind of in the region. So around environment, you know, we're partnering with Kingsport Beautiful on their annual 4th grade conservation camp, which is a really great opportunity. This year they're hosting it at the Bays Mountain Shelters.
Have you been to it before?
I have not, but I will try to make it this year.
You should go.
Yes, I think I got official invitation.
Good, because it's sold out. So.
Yeah. But it's a really great opportunity for students to engage in activities around environmental stewardship and energy conservation. Another thing that I really am proud of is something we're doing around empowerment, and that's supporting the YWCA Bristol's Emerge. It's a professional series for women who are striving to be leaders in today's organization, and that's something I think that a lot of us can relate to. So I don't know, Laura, if you've been to any of the workshops
I have not
yet?
had a chance to go yet.
Well, then you need to go check it out. So for any of our viewers who don't know about it, please go to the YWCA website and go check out some more information on it and the workshops that are for the rest of the year. So around education, Eastman's had a long history in advancing educational initiatives, and one of the programs that we're really proud of is the Tennessee and Virginia Scholars Program that, of course, the Kingsport Chamber has taken on. This is, I think, a wonderful and a successful program for high school students to kind of look at what are the next steps after graduation and pushing them academically. And lastly, economic development. We can't talk about it without referencing the Regional Center for Advanced Manufacturing. They have been instrumental in advancing tomorrow's workforce, and of course, none of this would be possible without community partners like Northeast Aid.
Well, Eastman is obviously world class in everything it does, from its innovations to its corporate responsibility to get involved to what you do with your employees, and you've been honored for all that you do. You continue to receive accolades around the globe in a number of areas. So highlight some of your recent honors for us.
It is truly awesome in the sense of the word. We are humbled by the recognition that we've received. I think first off, we're recognized most recently for the 5th year in a row by the Energy Star program of the U.S. With the Sustained Excellence Award. Eastman and our energy management efforts have been recognized 5 years in a row. And it's a very unique honor, and it really does underscore and validate everything we're doing each and every day to make sure that we're responsible citizens to the environment.
And that's unprecedented too, 5 years in a row, right?
Absolutely. We are the only chemical company to win more than once, but to win 5, it's a really short list. So we're in good company there. We also were recognized as one of the world's most ethical companies by the Ethisphere Institute, something that is written into the DNA of all the employees of Eastman. And so again, another wonderful validation of the work we're doing every day. And then, finally, the employees really were able to share their voice, and for the 3rd year in a row, Glassdoor has named Eastman one of the best places to work in the U.S. So when you kind of sit back and look at it all, it's like, wow, we really do live and work in an amazing area and an amazing company.
A lot to be proud of.
That's right.
Absolutely. And so if people want to see these accolades, Pinchot, or if they want to find out more about what we're doing or how we're helping out in the environment, whatever the case might be, where do they get that?
So you can go to eastman.com, and there you'll find a lot of information around our community involvement, our products, and latest news and updates.
That's awesome. That's good stuff.
Well, Pinchot Murphy and Amy Davis with Eastman, thanks for joining us today, and thanks for what all Eastman continues to do for this community. It's greatly appreciated.
Thank you
so much.
We'll wrap up this edition of your CZ right after this.
Well, we've now moved inside here. It's a lot cooler here at Cumberland Marketing, which is next to Kingsport Centennial Park. And can't wait till we come back in a year, Laura, to see how this place outside here will be transformed into this beautiful park to celebrate Kingsport's 100th year. Again, for more information on Kingsport Centennial Park or to help make it become a reality and to make a donation, go to kingsport100.org.
And you mentioned Cumberland Marketing. We need to certainly thank them for allowing us to hunker down here today and use their space as we tape our show. They're just a wonderful team. So for any of your marketing needs, please be sure to check them out. We also want to thank the equally wonderful team at Spectrum Reach for putting up with us on a show basis, on a show-by-show basis. I mean, 301 episodes now they've put up with us.
Yes, they deserve an award. Year after year, or really week after week, dealing with us.
As a reminder, to find out what's happening here in Kingsport, because you know there's always a lot going on in our great community, please be sure to check out the Kingsport Chamber at kingsportchamber.org. You can also go to the One Kingsport site, which is onekingsport.org. You can also watch our show. We'd love for you to do that. We're available on the Kingsport Chamber's website as well. You can give the Chamber a call at 392-8800, or you can like them on Facebook or follow them on Twitter.
And until our next visit together on your CZ, we are Bob and Laura reminding you to please be loyal
and buy local. Have a great week.